Hey guys, welcome to episode number 2 of Hair Facts. It's Danielle DeGraff here with my co-host Taylor. You can find us both on Instagram. Mine is Danielle DeGraff Hair, and
good afternoon. My Instagram handle, you can find me at TMR Hair.
And it is the afternoon here. It's currently 11:32. Late morning, early afternoon.
Head out for some brunch.
Depends on when you're listening to the cast.
Totally.
So for our episode number 2, we've decided to dive into the shift in the hair care industry, in the beauty industry in general, in terms of product. The shift towards the more natural and the more organic products.
So where are we sitting on a scale today, Danielle?
Nerd scale, I would say we're probably dead in the middle, only because there's some scientific stuff, but in reality, a lot of this is more moral-based and opinion-based, in my opinion.
All right, so we're about a 2.5.
2.5.
So before we start the podcast, I did have some feedback from some listeners from our previous podcast that I'd like to share.
I love this.
So I won't share names, but you can definitely write in if you have some comments or anything like that. So one thing that was apparently not fully understood is that you cannot just eat something and have protein be brought back to your hair.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't made clear?
No. So I just wanted to clarify for everyone.
Someone was wondering if by eating more protein,
yes,
your hair would get more protein.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. That's a fair question.
So I did just want to say, I mean, if you're eating healthier, you're eating more protein, for sure the hair coming out of your head will benefit from that.
Will be healthier hair.
Yes, but you will not fix damaged hair by all of a sudden eating a lot of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. That's not going to happen.
And also to confirm, nor would your hair benefit from the protein from chicken breast.
No?
Even if it was rubbed on
Different kind of protein.
Different kind of protein.
We learned about this last week. Yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to clarify.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Anything else? Any other feedback?
That was pretty much it for questions, I think.
Okay.
Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't get anything back.
Okay. So yeah, but if you have anything that you don't really understand, let us know, and then we'll hopefully try to clarify that for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so like I was saying when I was determining the scale for today, a lot of this information that I have researched for this podcast is opinion-based, in my opinion.
Okay, lovely.
It's one of those things, there's a whole lot of information on it out there. I did my best to try to find sources that were as science-backed as possible.
The
sciencey stuff, yep. So yeah, I'm looking at like the organic/natural terms that are used in hair products, along with the sulfate-free stuff, paraben-free, vegan, cruelty-free, all that kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm not trying to offend anybody with any of the things that I'm coming up with.
This is a trigger warning. This is Danielle offering her trigger warning.
Not trying to offend any opinions or any beliefs, because in reality, most consumers that are concerned with what's in or what's not in their products is based off of their beliefs or their morals, which is perfectly acceptable and as it should be, because it's their money that they're spending.
Yeah.
So to start off, the organic/natural term that's used for beauty products kind of all started with food.
Okay.
Years ago, when this concern with organic food grown and raised without antibiotics and pesticides came about.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into that because it's a whole nother topic.
Food, yes. And expensive organic food.
That's right.
Oof.
Which, in turn, also creates more expensive beauty products.
Makes sense.
The fear of the use of chemicals trickled into the beauty industry when the claims were made that the pesticides would be absorbed through the skin. So any material that is grown with the use of pesticides and manufactured for beauty products will not have any traces of pesticides left in them by the time it is in your beauty product.
So is that something, sorry, maybe you did mention this, but is that something that is an actual medical issue, that your skin absorbs these pesticides?
Well, that's what the claims were.
Right, which like led us to an organic.
Exactly. So I believe, from what I've read, if I was to spray a pesticide on my skin, it, like a certain amount of it would be absorbed.
Right.
However, if there was a ingredient that was used in a beauty product, like that was grown, like a natural ingredient, but was grown with the use of pesticides, by the time that ingredient is manufactured to be in the beauty product and processed to be in the beauty product, it no longer has active pesticides. Like, it's just, there isn't anything left at that point.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that was, that was kind of like, but that all came from the food thing, right? Like, foods being sprayed with it, and then you're directly consuming those foods. That's really, really different than the pesticides being processed and then put into a beauty product. It's just a different process. But that's where the fear of all that came from. The other misconception is that natural ingredients are safer than man-made ingredients. There are lots of plant-derived ingredients that are toxic to humans or can cause skin irritations in exactly the same way as man-made products.
Yes, absolutely.
Some of those are things that you would see and think that they would be great. Like, almond extract is a really common skin irritant for many people.
I had no idea.
So if they're buying a beauty product that's labeled organic or biodegradable or any of that, but it has almond extract in it, and they think, well, like, I don't know why it's irritating or whatever, that is a common one.
So just taking it back for a minute, what is fecal matter?
Okay. I'm not
you touch
sure
on this later?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't actually know where you're going with this, but
so
please continue.
So is that that's considered organic, I assume, right? An organic ingredient. The reason I ask is
no, it's not an ingredient. So
no, it is. So the reason I ask is because things like black eyeliner and mascara.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm just throwing it back.
I know.
They used to have, like, I'm pretty sure it was bat fecal matter.
Is this a fact?
This is what I learned in beauty school.
Okay, I would hazard to challenge that fact.
That's totally, the school I went to was not very reputable, so I would
shout out to
no, I'm not gonna say it. Okay, yeah, so you don't think that ever actually happened?
I would challenge that for sure.
All right, fair enough.
I've heard crazy things about things being you know what, after going online and trying to establish what's fact and what's not, there's a lot of information out there. I would probably challenge that.
That's good
but
to know.
If it was,
yes,
it would depend on what those animals were eating.
True. Okay, yes. Gotcha. Very good. Okay, thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. Okay, back to real ingredients. So other common irritants that can be found in beauty products that are natural are basil, cinnamon, grapefruit, peppermint, lemongrass, rose. Rose is a super common irritant and is used as a natural, it's used as a natural scent in lots of things.
And they have like the
rose water witch
spray.
hazel is also another super common one, and that's used as a tone, like a, what do they call them, a toner or whatever on skin.
Sephora. What are you doing to us?
So it's just the classic case of it could be amazing for some people and not for others. That's why, like, all this information about these natural shampoos and conditioners and this rinse and that rinse and it could be working amazing for someone.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's for everybody.
Totally. Makes sense.
Yes. Many of the ingredients are used in organic products to give scent and have active properties, but can also cause skin irritation just as much and as many as the man-made products. That made no sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Also, some natural ingredients are exactly the same, whether you derive them from like a fruit or a vegetable, or if they're man-made, like vitamin C, for example, ascorbic acid. You can derive that from like a fruit, or it can be man-made, and it's the exact same compound.
So it's the same compound. Interesting.
Yep.
Is that the same with vitamin D, do you think?
I don't know. Quite possibly.
What about B12?
I don't know. I'll get back to you on the next guest.
That is interesting, though, vitamin C. Because they have all those little pouches you can take when you're not feeling well, right?
That's right.
So you could eat 4 oranges or take a pouch.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
The other issue in terms of like the use of the words organic or natural is that the FDA has no regulations on what classifies a product as organic or natural. Like, you can use these terms very loosely.
It's terrible.
Many of the products that are labeled organic actually contain the synthetic ingredients that they claim are so bad, like parabens and sulphates.
Yeah, sulfates. Ooh.
Sulfates, boo. Parabens, boo.
Yeah, ammonia. Boo.
Yeah. So obviously, just like food, when the demand of these products became so high, the cost of them goes up as well.
Right.
Number one, because the demand is high and people will pay for it. But secondly, if you're going to demand certain ingredients to be used in place of other ingredients,
right,
the cost is way higher. Like, some of the ingredients that are claimed to be really bad for you are significantly less expensive than the alternatives for them, but they're still necessary to have that type of ingredient, like a preservative or a salt, like a surfactant, or they're necessary in the products. But the cheaper version, like the cheaper ingredients, people don't like. So they have to replace them with something more expensive.
I often think about the dollar store when I hear stuff like this. So not even just health products, but when I like buy toys for my son, like markers and paint. If I'm at the dollar store, they got good stuff. They got
Kids
Paw
love
Patrol.
It. That's right.
But it kind of, I'm like, you know, it makes me think. But you're saying that it's really, there's no real difference. Is that what I'm getting?
In terms of the product?
Yeah, like, so this paint, right, that might irritate his skin.
Yeah.
An expensive paint might irritate his skin.
Totally. Like, I think if in the beauty industry, if products are cheaper, they likely do contain the cheaper ingredients that people don't want in their products anymore. Right. So, like, let's just use sulfates as an example, because that's going to be my next point.
Yep.
Sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, people don't want that in their shampoos and conditioners anymore.
Why?
Because well, I will tell you why.
Sorry. Okay.
But they don't. So you still need a surfactant. You still need a cleansing agent in your shampoo. So instead of the sodium lauryl sulfate, they have to put some type of surfactant in the shampoo. That's a cheaper one. The more expensive ones, the more gentle cleansers, are what are in higher quality shampoo or more expensive shampoos and conditioners.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I get that. Okay. Makes sense.
So that's a nice little segue into my next point here about sulfate-free shampoos and conditioners.
Sulfate-free.
So like I said, sulfates are a common type of surfactant. Surfactants are molecules that work by one end being attracted to water and the other end is repelled by water and attracted to the oil. The oil-loving end attaches to the oils and the dirt in your hair, and the other end attaches itself to the water. Therefore, when you run the water out of your hair, the dirt and oil goes with it.
Wow.
You like that?
Yeah, I like the way you explained that.
Thank you.
Interesting. Okay. That doesn't sound so bad.
Trying to keep it sciencey, but, you know.
On the lower, simpler end.
That's right.
I feel informed.
Surfactants are what create the lather.
Yes.
That we all relate to cleaning.
Yes.
It's actually not a necessary thing in any cleaning
I've heard this
product. Like, we don't actually need the lather for something to clean.
Where did the lather start?
Oh, you know what? I should have looked that up, because I remember having this conversation with someone. I forget who it was, what soap company it was years and years and years ago that added the lather.
And it just took off.
It took off. People
like,
love.
I know, yeah. Well, even though I know I need to have my hair lather.
And like, have you tried to switch someone to sulfate free from whatever?
Ugh.
And like, they come back and they're like, it doesn't lather.
Yes.
It doesn't have to lather.
No.
But we are like those like no poo shampoos or whatever. Like, they don't lather at all, or like a cleansing conditioner. They don't lather.
Conditioners. That's what I was just
thinking. They don't lather at all. They still clean your hair. I've had multiple people I tried to get on, especially people with super dry, super curly, whatever hair. Yeah. I'm like, if you just use this for a bit, you're going, but they can't. Like, they can't let go of the lather.
I don't blame them. It's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. And you know what? The more lather, the better.
That's
the better you feel.
Exactly. Get those suds.
Yeah.
Suds me up.
Suds it up for sure.
So there are 4 main categories of surfactants: anionic, cationic, amphoteric, and non-ionic. That's in order from like strongest cleansing to gentlest cleansing agents. Okay.
So are those in would all 4 of those be in a shampoo?
Not necessarily.
No.
So the top one, the anionic surfactants, is where the sodium lauryl sulfate falls. So it's a stronger cleanser.
Okay.
So if your shampoo is claiming to be sulfate free, it likely doesn't have any anionic surfactants in it.
Okay, all right.
So it all started around 2012 when the whole no poo, no shampoo movement started. The claims were that sulfates are too harsh and strip away the hair's natural oil, which in turn makes us produce even more than we normally would to make up for it constantly being taken away.
I'm having flashbacks to when. Are you going to get into when?
Quit stealing all my points.
Okay, carry on.
So yeah, I can kind of attest to this. I was an everyday shampooer.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Not even that long ago.
No, like probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Everyday shampooer, sometimes twice a day.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Can you add professional hairstylist twice a day?
Yeah. Eventually, I was just sick of it. And, you know, when this whole idea came out that the more you shampoo, especially with more aggressive cleansers, because I was using sulfate shampoos at the time. I still use them sometimes. I'm not opposed to it.
What do you use?
I use a little bit of everything. I've got like 7. Did you see my shower?
Well, I did, but I didn't scope out your shampoos.
I got a lot of shampoos in there. So I use mostly sulfate-free.
I have really never used a sulfate-free shampoo. Like
really?
Maybe a couple of times, but yeah, no.
Yeah. So in saying that,
does it just blow your
mind? The line
mind?
has surfactants in it.
Okay.
They lather, all that good stuff. It's just sulfate-free means that they don't contain the highest. They have no sodium lauryl salt, no SLS, blah, blah, blah.
They got the lower one.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I use that, but I also have a shampoo that just depending on how my hair is feeling or how I'm feeling, that I need a little
extra
set.
What one is that one?
Right now it's the Revive one.
Oh, Revive.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're still using that?
Yeah.
I got
like a liter of it, so yeah. Okay, so yeah. So now, just because the shampoo is sulfate-free doesn't make it surfactant-free, blah, blah, blah. The cleansing conditioners still contain surfactants, just usually from the less harsh categories.
I can't believe that. I'm actually shocked to hear that, to be honest with you.
Well, this is going to shock you even more.
Oof.
So cocamide, MEA, DEA, and diesel glucoside and others, which names get harder to pronounce, so I didn't put them in, are becoming the frontiers of surfactants in hair care these days.
Okay.
They fall under the non-ionic category, which is the lowest category, and are plant-derived, often from coconut.
Huh.
It's coconut. That's the surfactant.
So everyone is now going to get back on this coconut oil.
Put it on everything.
Coconut milk. Just drench your head in it. Live in it. Never take it out.
Whenever I'm talking to my sister, if she ever has like a problem or whatever, I'm like, well, did you try putting coconut oil on? She hates it.
Oh, she
so
knows.
much.
Oh my God, it's so annoying. Just slap some coconut oil on it.
Yeah. So in saying that, because they are plant-derived surfactants, they are also biodegradable. So
Which
you know,
nice.
environmentally conscious people love that kind of stuff.
That's good, I guess. Yeah.
And it still does. It still does clean the hair.
And it lathers.
It lathers less than what we're used to with the really strong surfactants, but it does still lather.
Yes. Okay.
I do believe that there's still added lather stuff in them.
Extra stuff.
Yep. So in my opinion, hair types and hair routines just require different products. This is where the whole what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person thing, which is also why lines carry multiple shampoos and conditioners.
Yes, there's a reason.
There isn't one that's good for everybody.
Yes.
A perfect example of this is, what do you call them? These like chain whatever, like the Wen or the Monat or whatever.
Ugh, Monasty.
They're shout out to Monat.
Don't sue us.
They are claiming these claims that this one product line will do all these things for everyone, which is insane to think.
It doesn't
Everyone has different hair issues, scalp issues, body,
and
whatever.
your hair is the structure of it is different.
Yes,
like the cortex of the hair is physically, if you look at it under a microscope, fine hair is different than super curly hair.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and like also if you don't use a lot of products and you're not trying to achieve like added volume or whatever, stick with a cleansing conditioner.
Yeah.
Or if you have curly hair and you really want to, kind of weigh it down almost.
Yeah.
Totally. Use the cleansing conditioners.
Yeah.
However, if you're someone that uses a ton of products with silicones in them for smoothness and shine, or hairsprays with lots of alcohol in them, you got to clean that stuff off the hair.
Is it? Are hairsprays still full of alcohol?
100%. Well, that's like
The
more like
ones.
or like a session, like the stronger ones.
Really?
Yeah, for sure they are.
I thought we were done with that.
Yeah. So like I think a day-to-day hairspray,
Yes.
probably way less. But
Yes.
you notice when you do like a session spray, like they
Yes.
smell really strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you use that stuff on a regular basis, you have to get it off the hair, or you get buildup and dullness,
Yes.
and like there's just a slew of problems that come with it. So whether you use a clarifying shampoo once in a while, or just a shampoo that has like some decent surfactants in it,
Scrub
some
it off.
strong old sulfates, you got to get it off the
Yeah.
hair. So in that case, cleansing conditioners once a week is not going to cut it.
It's not going to cut it. Okay, I got a question.
I hope I have the answer.
Okay, so I was watching a video, and now this guy is not a hairstylist, but he said something that made me think. So when washing your hair, if you use a toonie size amount of shampoo, or you use a bucket size amount of the same shampoo, is that going to, if you lather properly and it's distributed evenly, is that going to make a difference in terms of how much is being stripped off of your hair? Do you know what I mean?
No, and it's the same as conditioners or deep conditioners, and this is probably horrible for me to say as a hairstylist. It doesn't make a difference.
No?
Even with conditioners / deep conditioners, blah, 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 your hair is only going to absorb what it's capable of absorbing.
That's right.
You could do a regular conditioner, and then if you followed it with a deep conditioner, you might as well just dump that deep conditioner down the drain because your hair's already absorbed what it can absorb. Like, that's it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Buy the deep conditioners. They're great.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm not set one way or another on sulfates. I use sulfate free. I use sulfate. I recommend both to my clients depending on what I feel that they need. Truthfully, a lot of the hype about sulfates is just fear mongering.
Yes.
Like it's not. They aren't toxic. They don't cause cancer. It really just comes down to your own personal beliefs and opinions.
So is sulfates, are they bad for the environment?
There's like more biodegradable like options. I don't know in terms of like SLS if the biggest concern for people is what it is on the environment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hear much about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you think about the issues in our environment, like you don't hear about we have too much sulfates running into the ocean. Like that's just not, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I doubt that it's much of a concern. Probably, again, by the time it gets to wherever the hell it goes, it's not an issue.
No.
Yeah.
So people just need to lay off the sulfates.
Just give the sulfates a break.
Give them a break.
They got a bad rap.
They do have a bad rap.
They're not that bad.
Like, they're not that bad. Relax. They're fine.
They're fine.
Sulfates.
As is a lot of things in the beauty industry.
Yes.
So the next thing that kind of came about was the fear of parabens.
Ugh, the parabens. That's still going on.
These are all still this is creating our beauty industry today.
Just paranoia.
Like you might as well not even make a line that has sulfates or parabens. Like good luck selling that.
True, that's true. I'd still buy them.
I would as well.
I don't care. Well, I don't know, maybe not after you explain to me why people think they're bad.
That's right. So the parabens make up a category of preservatives that have been used wide in cosmetics for decades. Any water-based product, which includes everything from shampoos, lotions, whatever, hundreds of thousands of beauty products, need to contain preservatives to prevent them from growing bacteria and fungus while they're sitting in your shower or in your medicine cabinet, whatever. Yes. You need it. Trust me. You would be very sad without preservatives.
Totally. Like in everything in life.
Yes. So they got a bad rap after a study was published about parabens being found in breast cancer tissue. This was when like the big thing happened. Although they did not test the women's healthy breast tissue, and it was not suggested that the parabens were the cause of the cancer. They were just found in the breast
There's got to be a link.
Why do you say?
Because how else would it get there?
Well, it could get there, but why does that say it had anything to do with the cancer?
Because if it's found...
What if it was in the healthy tissue? Or what if it was found in healthy tissue of women who never got breast cancer?
But then it's still being absorbed to that level in our body.
100%.
Which is kind of scary.
Yeah. I will get into that a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. That's a little, I didn't know that. I wouldn't think of that.
This is when it all started.
It's a little scary.
So they have been found to weakly mimic estrogen. in certain situations.
So give man boobs.
Exactly. If you drank a bottle of shampoo with parabens in it daily, you will likely
get some man boobs. Get a little more emotional.
Yes.
Good to know.
So they have since been deemed endocrine disruptors. So women don't want to disrupt their endocrine system, which is where the fear of that came from.
Okay.
So in 2014, the European Union banned some parabens. So the European Union is way ahead of us in terms of banning ingredients.
Yes.
Like the number is...
Is it too much though? Are they going overboard?
I don't know. Who am I to say?
Because we're way ahead of the States, apparently.
Yes.
And they're way ahead of us.
European Union's way ahead of the States.
So like, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe my opinion about this stuff not being so bad, maybe in 10 years I'll be like, wish I didn't do that podcast.
We'll put it on our tombstone.
Okay.
She used parabens.
Loved parabens. Yeah, so that's kind of when all the hype started in North America. It was when the European Union did that. But the fact that the Europeans did not ban some of the most commonly used parabens was overlooked. It was just a broad. They banned some parabens.
Oh,
right. So the most commonly already used ones were not banned. So, but it was overlooked. It was just the fact. It was just an outrage. Like, they're banning them. They must be terrible.
Horrible, yes.
And then that's where the bad rap of parabens started.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, there's some traction to that. If I had known, which I feel ridiculous that I'm that uneducated, I had no idea that happened, I would probably be a little worked up about it. It would scare me a little bit.
It does make me think more. The paraben thing, probably more than anything else.
Yes.
Sulphates, not so much.
No.
The paraben thing, slightly more than anything else. Because I feel like the rise of cancers, especially breast cancers in women, and the link to like phytoestrogens, like the estrogens that our body's absorbing or whatever that are adding to that. If that is a link, I would probably choose to stay away from that.
Yeah. Interesting. That's interesting. But you would think if it was, there would be enough testing done to say that it was. When I look at things like that, that's
here's my question. This is way off topic. But what would the testing be?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess if everyone who was diagnosed with, say, cancer, if that's what they're thinking,
breast cancer specifically,
if that's what they're thinking, that is like the more like what this is leading to, I would assume, would have to be tested for parabens, which I know they don't do.
Yep.
They would have to, that would, I guess, be the test. And
if every one of them, or a large percentage,
there was,
and then I guess they would also have to test women who do not.
Yes, there would have to be a
cancer,
control. Yeah,
and then probably some type of study for people who are very aware or have lived a long time trying to do their best to avoid phytoestrogens of any kind.
Yeah,
I don't know. That sounds expensive.
I was gonna say it sounds a little more complicated. Sounds more complicated than I thought.
The cure for cancer doesn't like pricey.
No, this is true. All right, I don't know. I might be cutting paraben out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about where I'm gonna go buy my shampoo now.
So at this time there is no conclusive data that parabens are bad for us.
Sorry. So are there parabens in everything?
There are preservatives in everything. So, there are more natural, I'm air quoting this, natural or organic preservatives.
Okay.
Sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate. Those are common preservatives that you'll find in modern day beauty products.
Yes, potassium. Okay? I feel like I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, the potassium sorbate is a big one. So those are considered to be safe and natural. They are, again, more expensive ingredients than old school parabens, but people don't want the old school parabens.
No.
Give us the potassium sorbate all day long.
All day long.
Yep. So that is kind of where...
Interesting.
Yeah.
So a preservative, did you know?
Did you know?
if you squirt lemon juice on something, it's kind of like a preservative?
Absolutely.
So can they not just somehow find a way to channel the lemon juice?
So, I mean, lemon juice specifically, like, I don't think you're going to see that as an ingredient.
No.
But I do think that like that is
it is like maybe where they're they're trying
like preservatives from citrus and stuff.
Yeah,
that I think that is
already
falls under those. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. No, won't cut you.
So then I guess the last thing that is top of the list for people when looking for beauty products this day and age is that they are vegan and cruelty free.
Yes.
So this
is where your
has no science.
Play.
Exactly. This is strictly
morality
from moral values.
And you're going to hear it from two different sides of the table.
That's right.
So you can be offended with either of us.
Exactly.
So
yeah. I fully support vegan and cruelty-free products.
Fully don't give a shit.
You just don't give a shit.
If it's vegan.
Okay.
Cruelty, if they're gonna put out an ad where they're like beating a bunny, like they've like strapped it down and like they're
like, are you okay with it?
I don't want to buy that product.
No.
I'm not gonna like intentionally seek out something like that.
The cruelest product.
Yes. Like, let me just clarify. But at the same time, I mean, I'm more for humans. Like, if they want to do some human testing and they agree to it, I say go for it.
Which people would.
Yeah.
All day long. Pay them. They'll do it.
Totally.
So my opinion on it is it's just not animal byproducts in beauty products is just, it's not necessary.
Animal byproducts in beauty products?
Yeah. Okay. Like there's no milk from like goat's milk, like whatever, right? None of that. No. But honey used to be a big thing, right?
What is it? But like, honey
was a big thing in beauty products, right?
Yes.
It's not anymore because it's all about save the bees, right?
Save those bees.
Yes. So,
but
the thing is,
milk?
But the thing is, we don't need honey. It doesn't actually benefit the hair any more than a million other ingredients.
That's true. That's absolutely
like you don't.
True.
It's not like it's like the sole savior of hair.
Yes.
If it was, I would say, fuck the bees.
They'll get over it
and give me the goddamn honey. But it's not. Like
it's just it is.
You can use any other ingredient instead of it, and it's the same thing with any other animal product. None of them are curing our hair woes. Like
my hair right now. It's a little dry. It's like a little dry. Yeah, no, that is interesting. However, just coming from like a skeptic's perspective. Yep. If everybody wants these natural ingredients, but then they can't even be natural, so it's like, what do you want?
The other irony of it all is that a lot of the fear of certain products and their effects were established from animal testing.
Ooh, that's rough. That's a tough one to look past.
It's a tough one to swallow.
That's a tough one.
Do you know what I mean, though? Yes. Like, a lot of the
True.
Ingredients that they're claiming cause this issue and that issue, those issues were established in a lab on an animal.
And I mean, it's not like we're going to stop coming up with new things.
No, of course not. So, I am fully in support of pay the humans. Yeah. You can pay anyone to do anything.
Yes.
So pay the humans.
The humans, yes.
Pay them to test the product.
Yeah.
And I feel like also where we're at in life,
yeah,
in society,
yeah,
with our knowledge, it's probably not necessary anymore. Like,
animal
how many
testing.
more, at this point, we're cutting ingredients, not adding ingredients, right? So,
well, look at fentanyl. That's a new ingredient.
What a segue. I mean, in hair care products, but
I'm just saying there's something that
there's always going to be new. I'm just saying in terms of the beauty industry.
Yes.
Our necessity for or our need for animal testing is pretty minimal at this point. We know what's good. We know what's bad. If there's there's nothing that would have to be tested. It could easily be tested on whoever the hell is making it.
So maybe it's just in my head and how I look at the world. But when I think of animal testing, I literally envision them taking an animal like for some reason, a white bunny.
A white bunny, yeah. Well, it's not for some reason. That's the image.
Yeah.
It's either that or a beagle.
Yes.
Right?
I was thinking, but a puppy version,
yes,
a little one.
Of course.
But that they're just like tracing it with lipstick. Like, I'm not...
It has nothing to do with that. Okay. Although I'm not going to get into detail. I have seen some beauty product testing and what it does. it's not good.
Them? It's not good?
It's really, really, really not good. But it's also the life that those animals are forced to live.
Oh, 100%.
So but I've also seen really horrible effects on the animals.
You gotta stay off the internet.
I know. But this is the thing. This is why I'm for it, because I've seen it.
It's true. I've never seen
the bad stuff. It's bad. There should be no animal testing for anything. Test on the humans. That's how I feel about it.
And that's it.
And that wraps up our podcast for today.
But yeah, no, so yeah, you're right. Actually, I didn't really think about it. Obviously the life that they're living is not
yeah, it's not good.
No. So I'm for testing on animals too. I feel like humans. Not it. Well, we are animals.
It's true in a sense.
But you know what's frustrating? So I'm pregnant right now, and I'm struggling with this because you're not allowed to do anything or use any skin, like, relating to healthcare, or not healthcare, but beauty products, shampoos and all this stuff, because morally and legally they can't test on pregnant women, so they just blanket that it's just bad.
That's right. Don't use it if you're pregnant, because they don't know. Yeah.
Which I think is ridiculous.
Okay, here's my question. If they offered to pay you to test to see if it was safe.
No.
Exactly. That's why.
But if I want to buy something.
So you're saying test on a pregnant animal?
Oh, God. I don't know.
That's disturbing. You should retract this statement.
No. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so, yeah, okay. Let's just move past this.
Okay.
You can't win.
No.
You just can't win.
No. And you know what I also think?
Can't test on children.
I think that it is presumptuous to say that just because it doesn't affect an animal, that it, like, we can't eat the same food.
Totally, yes.
Like, a rabbit doesn't eat what we eat. They don't eat ice cream cones and drink coffee in the morning. We shouldn't, but we do.
So we are killing ourselves with that.
But this is what I mean. Like, they're entirely different.
That's
so
true.
You can test all you want, but that's why they still say here's a list of risks or irritants or side effects or blah, 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 because we're not a bunny.
No, we're not a bunny. We're not a white bunny or a tiny beagle.
Unless you identify as a bunny, which that's fine.
I have
no judgment.
No judgment here. If you want to identify as a bunny, you go for it. A white one?
The white.
I wouldn't pick white.
I wouldn't either.
Just right now, at least.
Be a brown bunny.
Okay,
so really that actually does wrap up my information. Any questions about any of that?
I feel good. Okay. I feel still okay with sulphates.
Yep.
I have now become terrified of parabens.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna try to cut them out.
I like it.
You know, what's BPA? Do you know what that is?
I am not 100% sure. I feel like that's something we don't want.
No, I think, but it's in like cups and stuff like that.
That's right. Like the BPA free water bottle or whatever. So
that has me scared now.
Again, I do know. I don't know what it is, but I know that its claim is that it causes
cancer.
It mimics estrogen.
God, that's
same thing.
Scary.
So same as I don't know if it is a paraben. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
But it is known to that, like, that's why people don't want it, because it mimics estrogen.
That's why you don't buy things from the dollar store.
I've seen water bottles that are BPA free.
At the dollar store?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just can't keep up.
I don't know if I believe it. I don't know what the laws are on being able to. I don't
like
know.
Like, dollar stores have different laws.
Yeah, on being able to put that on. I don't know. I don't know if it. I don't know who regulates it. Who tests? I don't know.
That's true, because you just found out that the organic thing. Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah,
you have to be. Well, that's why Danielle sticks to her essential oils to fix her problems.
Right.
She doesn't believe in
all my
Western medicine.
All right. Okay. So that wraps up all the info.
Yeah.
So as we have decided we're going to do at the end of every podcast, we're going to say something we love, something we hate from the past week.
Yes.
I will let you start.
All right. Okay, I'll start. So something I'm loving right now is, and I haven't seen it with clients, but I'm hoping it's coming, but moving towards like a nice warm blonde again. Oh God, I'm just over the ash.
The icy.
Even though I'm still trying to do it to my own hair. I'm just over it.
Same.
Because it's just really trendy right now.
Yeah.
But like, there's something about like a nice golden blonde.
I love warm blondes.
Yeah. But nobody wants them.
Or even neutral. Like, I love
like a
neutral, beigey. Like, it's my favorite kind of blonde.
Yeah. I'm loving that. So I'm hoping if you're listening to this, you know, push your clients.
Open your minds.
Open your mind to the warm blondes. Mm-hmm. Because think about how much easier life will be. Think about how much nicer their hair is going to be. like everything is good.
I think the ironic thing about that is like a lot of people's goal is that like California blonde, that beachy whatever. They have golden ass blonde hair.
Yes, totally. Like golden, so golden.
So golden.
Get away from the ash. I'm over it. I'm just done.
Okay, so you're happy about the golden, okay?
So hating prom. I just have had a bunch of proms.
Prom season.
And even though all the girls were really sweet, I'm just over it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you go to your prom?
I went to... Don't rat me out, babe.
My cat's just chiming in.
I went to a lot of proms.
Oh.
Yes, I did. So I was like one of those prom people.
You just went to prom with people.
Yes.
Okay.
So I went to my own prom.
Okay.
I went to my boyfriend's prom. Yep. And then I went to a few proms with friends.
Okay.
But I did not get my hair done for any of them.
No?
Not at all.
You did your own?
I didn't even do my own. I had one girl mention that my hair was brushed.
Oh, well, that's good. You brushed it for one prom. Okay.
I brushed it. And I borrowed all my dresses.
Oh, I love it.
Like, it was just not a thing.
If I went to prom, that's what I would.
You didn't go.
No. Okay. Are you surprised by that?
I didn't know you then. By the stories, I'm not surprised. But if you were now the way you were then, or if you were then the way you are now.
Do you think I would have went?
Yeah. Just to get drunk.
Yeah, for sure. I would have went for that.
Totally, to get drunk. You have to.
As an adult, you can just do that whenever, though.
You can just do it. So, yeah, that's what I'm hating. What about you?
So I am loving hair memes.
Hair memes.
I'll open up Instagram or Facebook and I'll crack up.
Just crack up.
Like,
what's
sneeze slapping funny.
Rib tickler.
Oh my God.
What's a fave?
Here, the other day I saw this one and you have to see the picture for it to be funny, right? But
I like the one
just that it's a guy and he's like at a salon chair praying.
Yes.
He's kneeling and praying at the chair and he says, "Please forgive me for all these haircuts I'm about to kill."
Ooh. Oh. Like kill in a good way?
In a good way.
Oh God, thank God.
You
I thought he was talking about butchering people's hair.
I just like that part of the hair industry now. And
we're getting funnier.
It's funny. Everyone a lot of people make jokes about how someone's cutting a coffee. Oh because that's them
that's
eating.
Our lunch.
There's just I like all the funny hair memes.
There's lots of good hair memes. I actually post quite a few hair memes on my my Instagram if you want to follow me, which is at TMR Hair. You can find some hair memes on there.
Yeah, I like it.
I didn't make them. I screenshotted them. But yeah, hair memes. They're good.
Yep. And
makes you feel better about your life. What are you hating?
What am I hating? I am hating my friggin' photos.
Ooh.
I need a new camera really bad.
I'm hating my photos.
I'm trying so hard with
what are you hating about them?
They're just not clear. It's not, and you know what it is? It's like we don't have good lighting.
Oh, you have good lighting.
Wait, did we talk about? I already talked. Did I already say this?
No, you did social media. You're really upset about these photos. You did social media, but it trickled into that? To photos.
Okay, so I'm still hating the photos.
But you know what? I think it is too. It's like when you spend, 5 hours doing this crazy color, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And you just don't have the energy or the time to really, in my opinion, to really get that perfect photo.
Yeah, that was
and then it's a waste of, what the fuck did you just spend 5 hours for if you don't have a good picture?
I did my sister's hair on Saturday and I did that new technique that we discussed last time, which I'm also loving. Yes. Add that to my loves from this last week.
Yes.
Game changer. If you want more information on that, we should probably touch on that again sometime.
We should.
But best ever, game changer.
I love it.
So I wanted to test this out. So I did my sister's hair on Saturday.
It looks amazing, by the way.
It looks so good. Probably some of the best hair I've ever done.
Ashy blonde.
Icy white.
Exactly what we're trying to get away from. But it was perfect.
It was perfect. So it was Saturday here. It was storming. It was super dark. It was 7 o'clock when I was done.
Yeah, it was a bad day.
I tried to get video. I tried to do different spots in the salon. I tried using the ring light. It just didn't matter.
Did you feel like it wasn't capturing the actual color, or you just
color not so bad? It was just shadows and stuff. You couldn't see. There's always the shadow at the top of the head.
Oh, why is that?
For God's sakes, why is there a shadow
I know.
At the top
why
of the
does
head?
that happen?
If anyone has any tips on how to get rid
us.
of the shadows on the top of the head.
Yeah, we need to know. Because it always makes it look like you have a root.
Best camera. tips,
best camera
advice,
I have
anything like that?
I have a Wowie, and it's a pretty good camera.
I think it's Huawei.
It's a Huawei. I have a Huawei. But it's got a good camera. iPhones are junk.
iPhones. Guys. I'm quitting. I'm sorry,
Is this
Apple.
a photo of it?
I'm sorry, Apple.
Yeah, I see the shadow. That's not actually there.
I'm quitting iPhone.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to a Samsung.
Get a Wowie.
I'm getting a Samsung. I see the issues your phone has. We
I have
text.
a lot of issues.
It's ridiculous.
It doesn't. It won't spell properly.
Don't get a Huawei.
The Wowie. But I know what you mean though. But you know what? I think you can take classes.
I should do that.
We should take one. I'll take one too.
I'm down with that.
And they're specifically for hair.
Yes, that's what I need.
So spend like $200-300 and never have to, worry about another bad photo again.
Yeah. I also hate other stylists' bad photos.
I love other stylists' bad
Same.
photos. It makes me feel
better. When someone posts something and it's clearly such a bad job, bad color, God. You've tagged me in a couple or you sent me a couple.
I do like
and
those.
It's like, do you see what I see?
It's interesting that they don't see it.
Do they see it? Do they know?
Can't.
Do their clients know? Do they get complaints?
So
I'm curious.
Here's one thing. I went and did a refresh of my Instagram recently.
Yes.
But I went back and some of the photos that I had posted were actually horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I went back and did mine.
Did you? And did you find, you didn't find any you didn't like?
There was ones I didn't like the look of, but they weren't bad color jobs. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like the look necessarily, and it was like it was quite clearly I was not as experienced, but it wasn't bad. There wasn't bleeding. Choppy, there wasn't
Well, no, I didn't post anything like that.
None of that. But yes, for sure, I got rid of some. So I'm like, that's not.
But I know
now.
what you mean. Yeah, I don't know. Did they not know?
I don't know.
I assume not. I feel like because we are artists, right? Yeah. We're all legends in our own minds.
Oh, amen to that. I am a legend in my
I was just going to say, because that was a very humble response. You're like, none of my photos were bad.
But honestly, I did think that because you said you should go back and delete so I deleted what I feel like doesn't represent what I want it to represent.
Yeah, totally.
But I was still like, oh yeah, I remember that.
And this is great. I'm amazing.
Listen, I would call myself out. Maybe I just didn't post the bad ones.
Probably. I don't know. I'm going to definitely look through your Instagram now, though.
Do that. And call me out if there's
I will. I'm going to roast it.
Okay.
But yeah, feel free to not roast our Instagram.
Or go on and leave comments on all the bad hair photos.
Do it to her. She needs to be
Danielle
humbled.
DeGraff hair. Do it to mine.
Yeah, that's not mine. All right, so that's it for
episode number 2.
Week. Yeah,
our first together pod. I like it.
This was Danielle's takeaway this week.
We're swapping.
That's how it's gonna work. Yeah. So next week you'll be back with me.
That's right.
And then you'll be back with Danielle.
And so on and so on.
Forever. Basically, for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.